part 2 of that video. Sorry about that, I just had to plug my phone in. It'd be lovely if I had a proper recording studio, but it's just me and my iPhone. So the previous video just worked through a little bit of work in 4-point kneeling, some swimming and then a nice little stretch. So we are now going to come onto our backs. You might want a little cushion for your head. You want to feel like you've got length at the back of your neck. That nice neutral position, so not with your chin in your chest, not with your chin up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to have 2 little head cushions. Doesn't matter if they're not Pilates ones. Any old little cushion will do. Okay, so get yourself comfy. You want your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Find that bit of length through the back of your neck. Let your arms relax by your sides, and just take a couple of moments. Have some deep breaths. Breathing in, breathing wide into the sides of your rib cage, and then breathing out, and just let your body sink down into the mat. So breathing in, breathing wide, breathing out. Just let your body sink down. You can imagine it's like a giant heavy sandbag, really heavy down into the mat. So we will now bring our feet together, step toes apart, bring heels in line with those toes. So it just brings your feet and your knees to hip width apart. And that width is often considerably narrower than you expect. So you don't have to take your feet as far as you can, just gently step toes apart, bring heels in line. Okay. So check your shoulders are gently drawing away from your ears, that feeling of your shoulder blades sliding down towards your back pockets. Collarbones wide, arms relaxed. If you're like me and you're a bit tight through the front of the shoulders, sometimes turning your palms towards the ceiling is a nice way of opening up a little bit more. And then when you're ready, we're going to breathe out and just roll the pelvis towards us. So just a small movement, flattening the back gently into the mat, breathing in to release the pelvis away again. So it's only small, breathing out, roll the pelvis towards you, breathing in to roll away. Stay nice and relaxed, still heavy into the mat, just noticing how that movement feels. Only using just enough effort to get that movement to occur. So you want to be as chilled out as possible. Okay, and then we're just going to settle into our nice neutral position. So if you're not sure, you can always make the diamond with your hands. Pop your thumbs in your belly button, fingers down towards the legs, and just check that your diamond sitting on the front of your pelvis there is completely level. Okay, so if you had a marble in that diamond, it would sit nice and still. It wouldn't roll towards your thumbs and it wouldn't roll towards your fingers. It's going to stay slap bang in the middle. And that should mean that you just have a very small pocket of air under the middle of your lower back. If you've come into that position and you find you've got a big gap further up, you need to work on keeping that position through the lower back and letting that rib cage sink down into the mat. Okay. So we're going to start steady. We're going to start with our level 1 hip twist. You might want to keep those hands up on front of the pelvis. And we're just going to breathe out to open one knee to the side and breathe in to draw that knee back again. And then breathe out, open the other knee to the side and breathe in to draw back. So this exercise is not about a stretch. It is just about achieving independent movement through your hips, i.e. you can move your leg from your hip without your pelvis and your lower back getting involved. So if you've still got your hands up on the front of your pelvis, they should be staying completely level, and that marble in the middle of your diamond should not roll towards one side, kind of to that point between your thumb and your fingers, nor towards the other. Your marble stays dead in the centre. So if you can feel that your pelvis is following your leg one way and then following the leg the other, make the movement a bit smaller. Really focus on maintaining that level position and only taking your leg as far as you can maintain that position. So So if you're struggling, you might want to pop your hands underneath your bottom, palms down, right underneath there, so you can feel the weight coming down through each side of your bottom. And you're going to keep the weight into each of your hands exactly the same as you open the one knee and come back, and then open the other knee and come back. And the other thing to check is that your knee that's staying still, that does actually stay still, and it stays pointing right up towards the ceiling. Chances are it will want to sneak out to help counterbalance you, and that's not what we're after. We want to feel that your centre is gently working to keep you still and stable as you open that one knee to the side and then come back. So we're just working on building this independent movement through your hip. Okay. So if you have got your hands underneath your bottom, that's fine. You can maybe pause the video, play with that for a while, come back, no hands underneath, see if you can maintain that same level of stability. Otherwise we will go one more each side. Come back to the middle. So we're going to bring legs together now. We're going to glue them completely together. We're going to think about just flattening the back into the mat a little, and we're going to go into our hip twist level 2. So you take your arms a little bit wider. So this is more mobility, but it's still about using the muscles that you want to at an appropriate level, if you like. So you might want to just gently flatten your back into the mat a little, and then you're going to keep that feeling as you breathe out. Draw your knees across towards one side. Your top foot will come away from the mat, and you want to think about your top knee reaching out. You're keeping your shoulder blades glued to the mat. And then you're going to breathe out and draw those legs back, but you're going to think about your rib cage coming back to the mat first, and then your waist, and then your bottom. And then taking those knees over to the other side, again reaching out through that top knee, top foot comes away from the mat, shoulder blades stay glued to the mat. And then to come back, you're really drawing that rib cage back to the mat first, then your waist, and then your bottom. So if you really focus on this rib cage, initiating that movement back, you should be able to feel your waist muscles, your obliques working to bring those knees back across. So if your neck feels like it's not particularly happy, just check you've got the length through there. You might feel more comfortable if you look over the opposite shoulder as those knees come across. And then take that head the other way as the knees come the other way. If that doesn't work for you, come back to the centre. Think more about your soft peach between your chin and your chest. And you're gently keeping your soft peach there, but you're not squashing in. Let's go one more to each side. Come back to the centre. Okay, so just recenter yourself, reset those feet hip width apart, roll the pelvis backwards and forwards again, settle back into neutral, rib cage heavy. So this time we're just going to look at the arms. So hands up towards the ceiling, palms facing, arms shoulder width apart. Shoulders drawn away from those ears. And then you're going to breathe in, float the hands up, breathe out, sink the shoulders down. So again, scapular isolations as we did in 4-point kneeling, but this time rib cage is staying still and shoulder blades are moving around that rib cage. So we're breathing in to float up, and we're breathing out to sink down. So if you struggle with the bit where you sink those shoulders down and you feel like your shoulders want to come up to your ears, try and widen across those collarbones, widen across the back of the shoulders, but still keeping the arms shoulder width apart. Let's go for one more. And settle those shoulders into a nice neutral position so you keep that feeling of width across your collarbones, across the back of the shoulders. So now we're going to breathe out, take the hands towards the wall behind you, breathe in and come round in your half circle. again, notice how your shoulders feel. If they're a bit sore, if they're a bit clunky, make your circle smaller. Now again, the purpose of this exercise is not so much about a stretch, it's about keeping the control over your rib cage. So as that arm or those arms move, rib cage is staying connected and staying heavy into the mat through the back of your rib cage. Let's go one more and come back to the middle. Just put those hands back on the front of the hips. We'll go into our single leg stretch. So breathing out to slide one leg away, breathing in to slide back again. And then the other side. So just making sure that you've got that stability through the pelvis. Again, pelvis stays completely level, just lengthening out through that leg, so you open through the front of the hip and then fold through the front of the hip. Good. So if that's going well, let's add in some arms, reaching the arms backwards as that leg slides away, bringing them back again as that leg slides back in again. So. And again, you're just keeping your focus on your centre, that you can maintain that stability and control through the lower back and pelvis, keeping the rib cage heavy, keeping the breath going. So you stay relaxed, breathing out to reach away, breathing in to come back. Let's go one more each side. Come back to the middle. So just a few level 1 scissors. So again, keeping that nice neutral position, breathing out to float one leg up, breathing in to come back down, breathing out to float the other leg up, breathing in to come back down. It's exactly the same principles. Everything stays nice and controlled and stable, yet relaxed through the body. Just working through the hips. So you're breathing out to float the leg up, creasing at the front of the hip, breathing in to allow that foot back down, and just opening through the front of the hip. Good, we're going to add in some abdo prep now. So hands behind the head. You want to cradle the back of your head with your hands and put your thumbs down the back of your neck so you really feel supported. And your head is going to stay heavy into your hands, your elbows stay relatively wide, so they're just on the periphery of your vision. So we're going to combine that level 1 scissors with some abdo prep. You are going to breathe out, float the leg up, slide the ribs down towards the hips. So your head and shoulders just come away from the mat. Breathe in and come back down. And then the other side. So I don't have a huge amount of range of flexion through my thoracic. So I really don't come very far away from the mat. And yes, that's something I'm working on, but it's not the end of the world. It's more important that you keep your neutral position through your lower back and pelvis. You're not rounding your entire back. You're just flexing through the thoracic. That's your upper back. And floating that leg up. And your neck staying relaxed, because it's all about these ribs at the front sliding down towards your hips to get your head and shoulders to come up away from the mat. So if you have ever had diastasis recti, or you still do, or you're not that long after having a baby, again, not something necessarily for you. Please be sensible. Know what is good and what is not good for you. And if you're not sure, don't risk it. Or at least get in touch with me and we can either modify or confirm that you're fine. Okay, one more each side with that straight abdo prep. And we're going to go for oblique prep. So that shoulder's coming across towards the opposite knee and then the other side. So again, it may not be a massive movement. It is more about keeping equal weight down into both sides of your bottom. Keeping those elbows relatively wide, just breathing out to float that leg up and bring the opposite shoulder across towards it. You should still be able to maintain your neutral position through lower back and pelvis. Let's go one more each side. So we are going to come up into double tabletop. So again, just check your shoulders, check your collarbones nice and wide, rib cage heavy, neutral position. I'm going to breathe out, float one leg up into single tabletop. Going to think about those ribs connecting towards the hips as if you're coming into abdo prep but not actually coming up, and then float the second leg up. So from here we're going to breathe out, reach a set of toes towards the light switch and breathe in to fold back again, and then the other side. So this is your single leg stretch, level 3. Depending on if you've done Pilates before or not, depending on which governing body you've trained with, all that kind of stuff. Different things are called different stuff. But with the APPI, this is a level 3 leg stretch. Single leg stretch. So if you're really maintaining that position, you'll feel all of your abdominals working. You definitely don't want to let your back arch further away from the mat. You should be able to maintain neutral. Maybe think about those deeper tummy muscles a bit more again. Draw the little bony hip points in towards each other. If you feel like you are struggling to maintain your position, you can gently flatten your back into the mat. And it is much better to do that than to allow your back to arch away from the mat. If this doesn't feel great, stop. Come back a level. There's other things you can do. Okay, pause after this next one. Hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to take it into a double leg stretch. So breathing out, reach the leg away, hands backwards, breathing in to come around, and then the other side. So still working on keeping that control and position through the body, moving independently through the shoulders and through your hips. So this is starting to get quite hard work. If you need to have a breather any time. Draw your knees into your chest, have a little rock side to side. If you can feel your lower back is not happy, then stop. Have a breather, come back to a lower level exercise. Good, we're going to go one more each side. And pause, bring those hands back behind your head. We're going to go into crisscross. So, as you breathe out, you're going to reach one leg away from you and you're going to bring the shoulder on that side towards the opposite knee. Breathe in and come back. Same on the other side. Now, when that leg comes back in, it stays in that tabletop position. We're not thrashing around, rolling side to side like a little bug, bringing the knee in towards the shoulder. You're just reaching out through one leg, taking the shoulder on that side towards the bent leg. We're going to go 3 more each side. 3, 3, keep breathing. 2, 2, 1, 1. Come back to the middle, let those arms come down. Glue those legs together, take the arms a bit wider. Just gently flatten your back into the mat. We're going into our hip twist, level 5. Definitely 5. So, breathe out. Take those knees across to one side. Hold for a breath in. Breathe out. Draw them back across. Same the other way. Reaching out through that top knee. Holding for your breath in. Breathing out. To come back through the centre. Hold for the breath in, breathe out, draw those knees back across. Make sure they stay at a right angle, they don't start to come in towards your chest. And the same as they come across to the one side. They're not coming in towards you, they're staying in that same position, reaching that top knee out, holding and then breathing out to come back through the centre. So you're very welcome to let your head go in the opposite direction to your legs. Keep thinking about that nice soft peach between your chin and your chest. Well done, we're going to go 1 more each side. Time to wiggle down my mat. And come back to the centre and draw those knees in and have a little breather. If you've got through all of that, very well done. I can certainly feel my abs working. So we're just going to finish with a little bit of a stretch stretch out through the front of the body by working into bridge. So we'll let the feet come down. Pop one head cushion out of the way if you've got a little one, or just pop your whole, if you've only got a big head cushion, put that completely to one side. You don't want to end up with your chin scrunched into your chest when you're coming up into bridge. So, feet hip width apart. You might want to bring your heels a little bit closer to your bottom. That's going to bias your glute muscles, your bum muscles, more than your hamstrings. Generally, our hamstrings want to overact and our glutes underact, so better to bias them. Right. When you're ready, we're going to breathe out, sink the ribcage down, roll the pelvis towards you, peel up into your little bridge. You want to feel those knees reaching out away from you, really lengthening through the front of the hips, keeping the tailbone tucked. Hold for the in-breath at the top, breathe out and peel yourself back down to the mat and release to neutral. And again, breathing out, sink the ribs down, roll the pelvis towards you and peel up. You only come so far. Don't go further by pushing those ribs up, keep them connected, squeeze more through your bottom, and then peel back down again. Breathing out, sink the ribs, roll the pelvis, peel up, squeeze through those bum muscles, hold at the top of that bridge, open up through the front of those hips, and then breathe out to peel yourself back down again. So we're going to add in some arms, so we get a little bit more of a challenge to the mobility through the upper back. So, breathing out, peel up. Hold for your in-breath and reach back overhead. Breathe out and peel yourself back down again. And then let those arms return. Breathing out to peel up. Hold at the top there. Take the hands towards the wall behind you. Breathe out and peel back down. So just imagine your backbone is like a string of pearls. You're lifting one pearl away from the mat at a time as you peel up, and then lowering one pearl back down at a time as you peel down. So really notice if there's any part of your back that doesn't really want to get that nice peeling feeling. There's a chunk that comes down all at once. Take it a bit slower. That's it. We'll go for one more. Really think about your waistband coming back to the mat before your bottom, and then release all the way, draw those knees in, and have a good rock side to side. Okay, well done. I'm going to roll backwards and forwards and come up to sit. Just have a little stretch out. Take one knee out to the side, other leg out in front. Nice deep breath in to reach up, and a breath out to come down towards that straight leg. Doesn't matter where you get to, doesn't matter where you hold on to. You need to try and find that comfortable position that your body can relax into. So you feel the stretch, but you're not hanging on for dear life. We're going to take this bent knee up towards the ceiling and we're going to cross it over the straight leg, and then you're going to wrap the opposite arm around that, and you're going to sit up nice and tall, hugging that knee into your chest, so you should find a stretch into these bum muscles. And as you breathe in, you're going to grow a little bit taller, and as you breathe out, you might twist a little bit more. So you can use the hand behind you to help sit up tall as well. Just keep the head floating up, shoulders relaxing down. Middle, and we'll do the same on the other side. So drop that knee out to the side, other leg out in front, breath in to reach up, and a breath out to come down towards that straight leg. And again, it doesn't matter where you get to. It's better to hold on further up, let the upper body relax, still find that stretch into the hamstring, into the back of the leg, maybe a little bit into the opposite side of your back. Just breathe into that. if you're really tight through your hamstrings, you can have that knee bent, it doesn't matter. Just want to feel the stretch and breathe and relax into it. Gently walk those hands back up, bent knee comes up towards the ceiling, we'll cross that over the straight leg, and again wrap that arm around that leg, sit up nice and tall, finding that stretch into those bottom muscles, and you're going to breathe in to grow a bit taller, breathe out to twist a little bit more. Relax back to the middle, unravel those legs, see if you can bring the soles of the feet in to touch each other, and you're trying to take those knees towards the mat but sitting up nice and tall. So depending on how flexible you are, this might not be very easy. You can always take your feet further away from you, you can always pop your hands behind you to help yourself sit up tall. Again, it's about finding that stretch but trying to relax into it, maybe taking one knee down, taking the other knee down. So you can see I'm not a massively flexible person. I have to work quite hard to maintain this degree of flexibility that I've got. And in fairness, it is improving slowly, slowly, slowly all the time. You just got to keep gently working at it. You cannot force it. Okay, and then take those knees down. Last couple of breaths. Over onto hands and knees, you're going to lose me out of shot, but we're going to come up to stand. So tuck the toes under, roll back over those feet, keep the hands on the mat, take the hips up towards the ceiling, just have a few breaths here, let the crown of the head hang towards the mat, draw your shoulders away from your ears, maybe just let your head nod gently so you really release through the back of that neck. When you're ready, you're going to bend your knees, drop your tailbone, and unroll yourself back up to stand. And hopefully I can just swizzle the phone around without everything going to pop, maybe. Stay. Okay, I'm going to be a bit wonky, but it's better than nothing. So, have a nice deep breath in and reach up, come up onto those toes. Breathe out, let those arms come down. And again. Last one. There we go. Well done. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, keep well, and I'm going to do another couple of videos using the TheraBand and the softball, so look out for those. Alright, cheerio, take care, bye bye.